identity in the beginning, and then we were talking about anger and drug abuse and all that. So, well, we didn't touch on the drug abuse part. But we're going to use this forum, this panel session, to add those elements into the same social media communication and bullying, because it all relates, right?
What I hope that everyone will get out of this panel today is how to better use social media for positive aspects in connecting with your friends, families, promoting yourself, as well as building your relationship with God. So that's what I hope that young people will get out of today's social media panel. And now I'm going to pass it on to Alvin and ask that everyone just pass the mic and further introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alvin Wilby. I guess some people would say Minister Alvin Wilby. I serve as the youth minister at Wakefield Community Baptist Church in the Bronx. And what I hope to get, I just hope to hear what everyone else has to say and also share what God has placed on my heart in reference to social media, bullying, and communication.
Hey guys! So yeah, again, my name is Julissa Merrill. I'm 26 years old. I didn't tell you guys this before, but I'm one of the youth coordinators at Trinity St. John's. Didn't really think this through, just got added to this panel. But I will say the one thing I do want you guys to get out of this particular one is the understanding of the magnitude that social media plays on your life, and once it's posted, it's literally there forever. And just to be very conscious of what you post on social media and to impart the things that we weren't told, my generation, I guess, wasn't told about social media.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I go to St. John's Episcopal Church. I think everything's already been said, but I hope to get out of this panel is to teach people how to better use social media to your advantage and not just to be another person on a website.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
My name is Uche, as you guys know, from St. John's. What I want to get out of this is that for people to understand what is bullying and to avoid bullying at all costs, no matter physical and verbal bullying and also cyberbullying.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Roxanne Samuel. I attend St. John's Episcopal Church. And one thing that I would like to get from this group, most of you don't know me, but I am a student studying for my doctorate degree in social work, and my dissertation is going to be on bullying. So therefore, I want to learn from the young people in the room what are some of the issues that you face or people that you know may be facing in regards to bullying, so that I can find a way to develop some sort of program that can assist and help out. It's a passion for me because I feel that young people should not have to be teased and taunt to a point where they want to kill themselves. And this is something that's happening so often, and especially here in New York City and all around the world. So that's one of the things that I would like to get from this group is just your input, so that I can find a way to help you and to even approach your schools about some of the issues that you're bringing up. Thank you.
So now we're going to show you a video that Anderson Cooper did on being 13 and how it relates to young people and using social media. And then we're going to follow up with a conversation about that. Is everybody good with that? Yes. Yes? Yes. Okay. Y'all don't seem excited. How many of you guys use social media? Really? How many of you have a lot of fans and followers? What do you qualify as a lot? Someone come up to the microphone and tell me about their social media platforms. Anyone? Well, anyone who thinks they're popular or knows they're popular on social media. Anybody? How many?
I'm
very known in the football world. You know what I'm saying? I'm a football player. Obviously, you can tell. What is popular to me? I think just being known in your area, I would say, is being popular, because that can help you in a long way. But I think it's also bad too, because they really look at what you've done. Like, you'd be surprised how many people is really looking, like, what are you doing outside of school, like with your friends, and they'll say, if I were not to behave as the student athlete I should be, that reflects a negative atmosphere around my name, you know? So yeah, that's all.
How many fans and followers do you have?
Depending what platform you're
Well, everybody knows the language fans is more what fans is versus followers, right? No? Instagram is followers, and usually refer to fans on Facebook. But in terms of how many people you are connected to, how many people are you connected to your social media platforms? Do you know all of them?
I know by face. Yes, that's how you know I know a lot. By face, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at a video to show you about many young people who have social media platforms. Thank you for sharing that. About many young people who have social media platforms, and then we're going to start the conversation around it, okay?
Okay.
The first headline, the more teens look at social media, the more distressed they can become. Teens check their social media feeds way more than they actually post something. Our experts call it lurking. And the heaviest users in this study told us they check their feeds more than 100 times a day.
Sometimes I'll catch myself, like, going on my social media way too much, about 200 times in a day.
We asked about 20 teens in our study to send us videos. Responding to questions about the power of social media in their lives.
Most times I check it in a day. I don't just try. It's just a need. I need to.
I probably check my phone 90, 100, 110. Even when I'm hanging out with people, I still check my phone a lot, because the one thing I want to do is decide on something.
I think I've checked it about 100 times at school before. Like, I'll just wake up in the middle of class and I'm like, whatever everybody else is up to.
Why check over 100 times a day, even during school? They're really worried about fitting in. 21% say,
I want to make sure no one is saying mean things about me.
36% say,
I want to see if my friends are doing things without me.
and 61% say,
I want to see if my posts are getting likes and comments.
Even though I was at school, I would still check my phone, because people post things at school and stuff, so you still always worry.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Marion Underwood is the co-author of the study.
It is stressful to constantly be monitoring and worrying about how people might have responded to what you put online. This is an age group that has a lot of anxiety about where they fit in, how they rank, what their peer status is. But they don't just get online to see how many likes or favorites they got. They're comparing their numbers to other people's numbers.
The majority of parents said they tried to control their kids' social media use, but our study found they have limited success. What's more, parents were way out of touch with what their kids were feeling. About 60% underestimated how lonely, worried, and depressed their kids were. 94% underestimated the amount of fighting happening on social media.
And I think what's going on here is two things. One is that the language of social media, the subtleties of exclusion and social combat are indecipherable for parents. The other thing that's going on is that kids, by and large, don't talk about the kinds of conflicts they're experiencing because they feel like adults can't help.
And despite that finding, the data shows something remarkably empowering for parents. Even if they feel they can't control their middle schoolers' social media use, even if they don't understand a lot of what's being said online, just trying really counts.
Okay,
Okay, did everybody get a grasp of what that video was all about? Yeah? Okay. Can someone summarize it for us? No? Okay, this is going to be a really interactive panel because one, we know young people love social media, right? No? Okay, well, most people do. Secondly, we want to help you and support you in terms of ways to use social media in a positive way, but also to support those in knowing about bullying and other issues that can come about through social media. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Alvin and let him start off with his views on it.
My views on social media basically are this. A tool, I like to describe it as talking about a tool. A hammer could be used to build something, like you can use a hammer to drive a nail into a piece of wood while trying to build a structure. But if you turn that hammer around and use the hook part, you could use it to destroy. So social media is a tool in my eyes that could be used in a positive, constructive way, but it could also be turned around and used in a very destructive way for your current situation and for the future. So that's how I view social media.
Some of the things that were said in the video was that some young people look at their social media 100 times, 200 times a day. And a lot of times they use social media for communication, for things that are going through. Earlier today, a young man said, I don't have anyone to talk to outside of my friends. So now you know that in addition to not having people to talk to, young people put their business on social media, their feelings, their emotions, and what they're going through as sort of a cry for help. So I want Roxanne to elaborate more on that in terms of what young people should be doing in terms of that. Hi, okay. All right, before I go into that, let me ask you guys a question. Can anyone in here define for me what they think bullying is? Because that's a topic for me of interest that I can actually help you guys with. Can someone tell me what is bullying? Yes, please.
It's, well, bullying, like, to me, is more like when you harass somebody, when you, like, constantly do something that you know irritates them and annoys them, and you just constantly do it, whether it's physical, like, mental, or something like that.
Yes, thank you. That is correct. It's an aggressive behavior that continues over time. It could be in many forms. It could be verbal. It could be physical. You could also be, like what we're talking on this panel about, it could be cyberbullying. It could be something over the internet. It could be a text message. Anyone in this audience have a friend who actually had an incident of bullying that you might want to share with us? No one's ever been bullied in school? I know I have. No one knows of a friend who's been bullied in school? And bullying could be teasing. Yes?
Well, I have a question. Everyone said earlier that they're really close with their friends. Do you guys make jokes with each other about appearance? Yeah. About, I don't know, something that maybe appearance most of the time is what we joke, or how they behave. Do you guys consider that a form of bullying? No. Why? Do you not consider it a form of bullying because it's with your friends? Yeah. Would you do it to a complete stranger? No. So why would you not consider it bullying with your friends, but to a complete stranger you wouldn't do it? Because we don't have the option. Mr. May.
I feel like if you're speaking to like a stranger and it's different from speaking to your friend because the connection is not the same. See, if I don't know somebody and I start making fun of them, that's completely different than
talking about somebody's appearance or you're making fun of them is bullying regardless if it's intentional or not.
I feel that, like, with your friends, like, everybody jokes around with their friends, and I feel it's because, like, your friends know when you're joking around. Like, you know, if you're friends and you guys know each other well enough to know when you're being serious and when you guys are just joking around. But if it's a complete stranger, that complete stranger doesn't know whether or not you're serious about it, so they're going to take it seriously and they're not going to take it lightly.
But how do you know that what you're saying, your friends can laugh at the comment and laugh it off, but how do you know that they're not going home and thinking about that? How do you know that the effect that you're having, even though that's your friend, how do you know that effect that just saying, oh,
Yeah, I actually had a friend like that. She used to be a close group of friends. We used to be a close group of friends, and we would crack jokes on each other. We talk all the time, go home, laugh about it over the phone, text each other. And it turns out that she actually, some of the comments that we made or some of the comments that were said, she took it very, very personally and it ended up hurting her. And when she finally did come to us, we didn't know about it. And this is a person we thought we knew very closely. So you don't always know whether it's your friend, whether it's somebody you talk to every day. People do hide things from you. And we eventually ended up meshing the friendship and we got over it. We're still friends to this day, but you just don't know.
And one thing we have to know is that communication is key. If you don't ask the person, oh, is it hurting you? What we're saying, is it hurting you? If you don't ask them, nobody will ever know. And that's why I say communication is key, and people should talk about, especially if you're joking around, you have to ask them like, oh, is it really hurting me or something like that?
I have a question for the panelists. Who do you guys think is bullied more and how? In what type of setting? Is it males get bullied more or is it females?
you want us to answer one by one? You guys answer first. I got stand up, please.
I think females get bullied more because they have a persona and people look at females like they're supposed to do certain things. Like people say females are goddess and they're this, so they have to do certain things. Like saying they found out some girl did something inappropriate, everybody's talking about it, now she's getting bullied on it. It's like people say that females are the eye of things. Like they can't do certain things. Like guys can get away with it, but if a female does it, they get bullied onto it. People look down to them now. But if a guy does it, it's like, yo, good job. But if a female does it, it's like, it wasn't supposed to happen. And people get bullied more onto what a female does and what a male does. It's like people think a male is okay for what a male does on certain things, and if a female does it, it's bad. It's looked on different things because it's like you're a female, you're supposed to do this. Like you have an image of yourself because of the gender that you are. And females get more bullied on their weight, their look, because you're supposed to look a certain way, you're supposed to act a certain way because of like your gender, who you are. And that's what I feel like females get bullied more, and they get low self-esteem. People wear makeup now, and they do this, and they make sure they wear certain clothes. And male, on the other hand, they go to their boys and be like, bro, I just came over yesterday, and he's like, oh. And if a girl did it, he's like, no, niggas gonna like me with it too. Like, it's just that's how it is. Like a male can get, applauded for whatever he did, for whoever he did, but whatever he did. And a female did it, it's just, why would she do that? Well, they bully her, they say something stupid about it because that's just how it is.
I have a question.
Hi everyone. How many of you all heard about the 60-year-old girl in Delaware who was just jumped over a boy and now she's dead? So what are your thoughts on that situation? 16 years old. So they had a notification over a boy that she was in a relationship with. They went to the bathroom to fight. There was two of them fighting. Her friends jumped in, and all of a sudden, she hit her head on the sink, and blood started gushing out her head. That's when they called for help, and she was pronounced dead in the hospital a couple hours later. So What are your views on that in that instance about bullying and yeah. Any thoughts?
How do people know about that?
Yeah, how do people know about it?
You know, that goes to show how communication is very important, because this happened in Maryland, Delaware. It happened in Delaware. We're here in New York, and social media is traveling, and it's going far and far and far. I'm sure people in the Caribbean probably heard about it, you know, and we have to also just look at these things and understand that our actions, you know, you got to be careful with that, because people will see it. And then how do you change it? And how do you correct it? It's a behavior where you don't want to hurt another person because of what? You got insecure because you thought they were with a person that you cared for, or you want to, you know, just be upset and just blow off steam. There's other ways to blow off steam. You know, you could go exercise, you could do other things. Now, when someone bothers you or teases you, how do you respond to that? What are some of the things that you do when someone is bullying you or teasing you or making, you know, jokes? Do you just laugh it off? Do you go and cry? Do you just be silent? Is there someone that you have that you can speak to? What are some of the things that you guys do?
When I feel bothered, like when I'm aggravated or something, like one of the things I do is like go listen to like music or something, because it kind of like soothes me. Sometimes I like sit by myself and just think about like my next move, but I try not to just like go outside and be around friends and be around others, because they can do something that is like add on to it without them knowing that they just made it like a little worse. So I just kind of like put myself like, you know, like in my own world or something like that. It works for me. I don't know.
I know a few people around here submit themselves to fighting when they have an altercation. But why is the reason why people fight when they have an altercation?
So, just to address your question, Uche, I think I went to high school in Brooklyn, but I grew up in Queens. So me personally, and I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade. And then I went to public school. So I never knew about the element of handling your problems with fighting until I got to high school. So I think that it has a lot to do with with your social environment. Unfortunately, a lot of times our friends will pressure us into having fights or getting into an altercation or handling it with our hands versus what we're told and what we're taught in school, and even in the Bible, which says address it with your words, not necessarily your hands. So I think, Uche, just to answer your question, it has a lot to do with our social environment and what we're around that pressures us to do certain things. You guys agree or disagree? Okay, if we can be completely honest in this room right now, can we be completely honest? Yes? How many people have been in a physical altercation? How many people wanted to be in that altercation? She's completely honest. The reason why I ask that is, for the next question, how many of you were pressured by your friends to address that person physically? So, for the other half that raised their hand, did you guys go to that person and, alright, I'm going to use terminology that you guys should know, I'm assuming. Did you guys press that person or did they press you? They pressed me.
For me, see, like for me, I'm a big dude. Like you guys can see me, I'm a big dude, right? And like sometimes you have to know your battles. Like, so like you can't get this little guy coming to you talking all this hot, and then you're just gonna, I press the person, of course. I'm not gonna go around, walking around, let him start screaming at me and all that stuff. I'm like, no, no, at all. I'm a big dude. I had to show these guys who's the boss. So I had to press the person. You know, I'm a Christian and all this. I know I'm not supposed to subject myself to fighting, but like, if someone is like bothering you, and like, I know talking, you're supposed to talk. Like, for me, I had to show who's the boss.
For me, it was the complete opposite. I had to show them that they can't mess with me, because I'm like the shortest person in my classes, always. Shortest person, smallest person, quiet, reading my books, real nice when you talk to me, but other than that, I don't show my mean side unless I have to. So this girl came up to me, she a little bit taller than me, a little bit, she was Aki, I don't know. So she came up to me, she started pressing me, I was trying to read this book, she started like tapping this ruler on my chair, she was getting on my nerves. And then, you know, we got into a physical altercation, and in my case, it was self-defense. The Lord knows it was self-defense. I was not at fault, I was reading a book, I couldn't do it, and I had to defend myself. But I feel like if her friends didn't put that battery in her back, if they didn't talk to her and be like, you know what, you gotta go fight her, she mad, like, she's not gonna do nothing, she's not gonna beat you up, she's not gonna do this and that, and I proved her wrong. And I just feel like your friends are not always the best place to go to, because they will get you into trouble. This girl got repeatedly suspended. It was so bad. I wish I could have saved her.
Anyone else want to share an experience? No? Okay.
This was like my freshman year in high school. This kid, he kept talking. Like at first, I didn't want to fight him. Like I was like, you know, whatever, I could just blow it off. But then he started talking about like my personal life. Like he started talking about my cousin, because my cousin's like a year younger than me, and she go to the middle school. So then he started talking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other to your cousin. So then I said, oh really? So then we started getting into it. And so then as soon as I punched him, he decided, oh, well, I'm gonna lose. So then he tried to grab me, but then I kept moving. I was too fast for him, and then so the security guard came, and he had to pull me off of him. And then the principal guy said, well, the principal looked at my grades. He said, well, I know you don't want to get suspended because I mean, your grades are good, so I'll give you guys 3 days detention. So then I said, okay. And so the other kid was just staring at me, like glaring, didn't say a word.
I actually go to this church, so I can't really.
Just remember that this is an open space for everyone to be able to speak and talk about what's really going on. Okay?
So, me personally, I don't live my life around fighting or anything, but the way I was raised by my mother is you can't be a punk. You can't go to the park, and I like to play basketball with my friends, you can't go to the park and let somebody talk to you how they want to talk to you. You know, and that's not somebody, he said something about size, no, I don't care. You're making me, he said, no. There's just certain things that as a person, even without your friends, you shouldn't let somebody or let other people talk about you or let them disrespect your character or your human being, because you are a person and you matter. Like, if people are talking about you like, oh, you're ugly, I don't care. I know you're not ugly. You know, everybody's ugly in their own way, you know? But if they say something like, you know, like talk about your family or talk about your mother or something, that's totally different than I'm talking about you personally. Like if they say like, oh, I was slapping your mother, what? That's not happening at all. So I had an incident when I was at the park with my friends a couple days ago, actually, a couple days ago, we was at the park, and we were playing ball, and we beat these guys 3 times in a row. They kept coming back, and we still beat them. And, could have been. But the guy that I was guarding, because we got the same people all 3 games. The guy that I was guarding, he was like, oh, I played you before, you were never this good. He was like, really like, honestly like, because people can progress, stop it. And he honestly was like, there's no way that you got this much better. And I'm like, when you are in a